So the developer update for March 2023 is out, and this is the changes that we're gonna get on the mid-chapter patch that is gonna come out in roughly 4 weeks. So first up, really good. The Bloodweb is gonna get improved. The Bloodweb chains, you can click on a far node like this one and it's gonna buy everything on the way. That's gonna make Bloodwebs a lot quicker. Also, there's a toggle option that you can just click on something and it will instantly buy. And obviously you have the button in the middle to just auto buy. Really cool. Cool stuff. Visual terror radius is gonna come to DBD. So if that's really good for deaf people. So they have a terror radius on their model that goes... Yeah, the heart starts beating more and more the closer the killer gets. It's kind of hard to use. I used it in mobile a little bit, but I kind of have trouble using it without sound, personally. Outhaven is gonna get an update. Blood Lodge, the main building is gonna be moved further to the middle, so that there's line of sight break between the two sides, I guess. This picture, it looks like there are like literally no pallets anywhere in the middle. That's kind of crazy. Let's see how that works, but yeah, that's how it looks like right now. They're also saying they're making significant layout changes. So Gashaven. Gashaven is gonna get the car walls broken up, which means the big loops on both sides of the map are gonna get broken up. They're gonna get pallets or some kind of loops with windows maybe integrated into the car wall, however that might look like. This is the one teaser image that we've gotten. This pallet changed. It used to be in the middle. It's on the side now, which should be a bit weaker overall for... I don't know, it's pretty easy to force the sun on that. I don't know, that's gonna work, but I think it's a bit weaker for survivors that way. These trucks got moved, and this building is further towards the middle of the map now. Yes, those are the changes to the main building. This is, honestly, the main building further to the middle should be pretty good for survivors, honestly. That is one of the strongest main buildings in the game. Lots of strong pallets, lots of good windows. Yeah, those are the two changes to Blood Lodge and Gashaven. Healing. So the base healing speed is gonna be 24 seconds. Previously 16. That is a massive change. We have been in a healing meta in Dead by Daylight for a long time now. I don't know when it started, like 2 years ago maybe. There was a period where everyone was playing injured for Dead Hard, but like medkits are everywhere. Like you see them 3 times, like 3 per game on average. Like they're literally everywhere, and that's what the developers are trying to address with this. I don't know if this is really necessary. This is massive, and it's gonna make strong killers even stronger. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of this, personally. I'm just not a big fan of this change. Like, you could maybe make it 20. I think, like, the base healing time was never the problem. The problem was there were 1 billion multipliers with medkits and circle of healing. That was the main problem, not the base time. Personally, that's my opinion. So all the medkits only have 1 heal now, 24 charges, which is 1 full heal. And the different tiers of medkits, honestly, they don't have much of a difference anymore. Like the first one makes it 20% faster to heal someone else. The second one, 25%, the yellow one. Green, 30%, but it does not make it faster to heal anyone else. And the purple one, 35%. And like a minor buff to skill checks. But it's like, the difference between the tiers is honestly close to nothing. I don't know if that's cool. Oh well. Yeah, and they're also saying that the add-ons for medkits have been nerfed, which I would suspect are those 2 and all the charge add-ons. That the charges, that you can't get 1,000,000 charges anymore. I could suspect maybe if you put like 2 charge add-ons on, that you get 1 extra heal out of medkits to make them more online. Okay, Gearhead and Overzealous got minor buffs, it's not important. Pain Rest, that's a massive change. So Pain Rest pretty much only activates on the first hook on each unique survivor. So there's 4 tokens total. It can be used 4 times per match if you hook every survivor once. That is pretty big nerf. Pain Rest probably the best perk for a killer right now, so it's definitely deserved to get a nerf. I don't think people are gonna run that perk anymore. Like, I think that's a hefty nerf. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna see it as much anymore. But no, it's still pretty good to have, like in as a synergy perk maybe. But it's not the strongest perk that killers have. So Dead Hard, To activate Dead Hard, you need to unhook a survivor now. That is a massive, massive nerf. This perk will probably, if anything, be a secondary exhaustion perk that you can use once to surprise the killer, because he will not respect anyone to have it anymore. It's not going to be meta anymore. The Dead Hard meta is over when this change actually hits. I don't think Dead Hard is going to be popular at all. Call of Brian, massive nerf. So from 200% regression, it goes down to 125%. Yeah, well, for 25%, no one is going to run the perk. Like, Call of Brian is properly killed with this one, which is probably for the better. I think the perk is a bit toxic. You get value out of nothing. I don't think it should be a thing. So, yeah. Because, like, Call of Brian just makes the game incredibly slow. By Call of Brian being a meta perk, Dead by Daylight just slows down a lot. Overcharge, fairly similar. It's 130% now instead of 200%. And the starting regression is 85%. Yeah, well, that's... Yeah, I don't know. I don't think anyone is going to run this. Maybe if you're a new player and like the survivors you're going against actually miss the skill check, then I could see someone run this, but Overcharge is properly dead too. So that's cool. So Circle of Healing. You cannot self-care anymore with Circle of Healing. So it's only altruism heals being affected. Many people have asked for this for a long time. I have asked for this. I think this is a good change. As a small bonus, you can see hours of injured survivors within the boon range. So it's kind of like empathy inside the boon range. I think this perk is dead. It's still okay, especially if you get into 3-gen situations. I think the perk is relatively fine. It's not going to be meta, not everyone's going to run this, but this seems to be a healthy perk to me. I don't know. Alright, so cool. Now we get to the killer updates. The Hillbilly. So they are... Okay, they're making Hillbilly's overheat less significant overall, which means you can just run the loops more, you can use more chainsaw more, but you're gonna overheat more if you actually use it for traveling over longer periods of times. But the way they described it, it looks like it shouldn't be that impactful at all anymore. So that's cool. I mean, overheat is generally a mechanic that stops newer Hillbillies, while experienced ones don't really care for it. So I think overheat is just like, from pure gameplay perspective, like you could say like, I don't know, like, I think it's a bad mechanic. To be perfectly honest, I think overheat is a horrible mechanic. From a gameplay perspective, it doesn't make much sense. And yeah, it's just annoying. Like, I don't know. That's my opinion. Personally. So, and the very sad part, Doom and Death Engravings are gonna provide less movement speed, they're gonna get nerfed, and they're gonna generate more heat. So if you've ever looked around Billy's, maybe, like if you ever looked at a stream, that if someone has Billy main, you're probably gonna see one of those add-ons, or maybe both on them. Which, yeah, this is what holds Billy together. So I don't know, like this is a massive change. Billy is already a character. I made a video on it. His pick rate over the years went down into nothing, literally. Billy used to be the second strongest killer in the game. Now he's below average, and he's getting his, like, yeah, well, I don't know why you'd nerf his engravings. It makes no sense. So you will probably drive a lot of Billy mains away from it again. I don't know why. No clue why. Makes no sense to me. I have no idea why they would do this. Well, I mean, it's not over. Maybe they listen to the feedback, because I'm sure every Billy main and every Billy enthusiast is gonna tell them that, yeah, we kind of want engravings. It's the thing that makes Billy fun. That's what we love about Billy. The ability to carve, the ability to have really cool moments. And without engravings, Billy's just too slow on the high level. It doesn't make, like, he's just too slow. Against really good survivors, you will struggle without engravings. This one is a bit more significant. Clown Pinky Finger. The add-on will reduce your maximum bottles by 3 instead of 2. So default, you only have 1 bottle. Pinky Finger is a really strong add-on that kind of lifts from the surprise factor. The thing that kind of gatekeeps this add-on though is like the majority of people who run it don't know how to aim with the bottles because they don't know how to play Clown, and they're trying to crutch on the add-on. Yeah, it's definitely good to nerf the crutch add-ons for sure. And flashlights cannot burn killers anymore. So what does that mean? So Wraith is obviously the obvious one that you can burn out of his cloak. That's impossible. Nurse cannot, you cannot burn a nurse anymore. This is not very clear. This is not 100% clear if you can keep a nurse from charging a blink. I would presume not though, because they want to get rid of light burning entirely. Like everything about it. Artist, you cannot burn the cross anymore. Hack, you cannot burn the traps anymore. So nothing can be done in terms of burning for a flashlight. So a flashlight is just for blinding now, I think. Okay, like the obvious thing in the room when you read this patch notes is, so nurse is gonna get one of her most important counterplays taken away. Zombies, true. Nurse is gonna take, so stopping a nurse from charging her blink by burning her is massive counterplay on the high level. Super huge. And I think it only happens on the high level. Like no one ever cares about that mechanics besides really, really strong, experienced players. Okay, Dead Hard is presumably getting killed. I think this is a horrible idea. Why? Dead Hard, one of the purposes, in my opinion, is to keep the top 2 killers in check in Dead by Daylight, because both of them kinda are not that good against Dead Hard, especially against Nurse. In Nurse, in this environment, is gonna be horrible to play against. So let's recap. So healing takes 24 seconds. So this is a Nurse, right? Like, let's talk about Nurse. So if you want to reset against a Nurse, it takes you 8 seconds longer times 2. So that's effectively 16 seconds longer, right? She probably has mending add-on, so you're going to take even longer to heal. That's 2 people, by the way. That's not 1 person. So you kind of have to double this. Like, realistically, it was 32 seconds. Now it's 48. Every heal will hurt more. You do not have Dead Hard anymore against Nurse. I know. What are you going to do against the Nurse now? Nothing. You're not going to do absolutely nothing. So this is something that definitely needs to be considered. I think it's extremely sad. Like for me, the biggest problem in Dead by Daylight when it comes to balancing is not something like specifically. It's like these killers at the bottom of the tier list are so far away from these killers. They are so far away, in my head at least. That's what I see as the biggest problem.